one of the issues I have with some of my followers is that most of them, they watch my videos, they don't listen. Come on, if you're watching this video, please like the video and share for us. If you're seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Milton. So a lot of my people are like, this college says that I should study. After my studies, they are going to give me a work permit. How do you explain that? Colleges do not give work permit. When you finish from a college, there is something called postgraduate work permit, which you are going to apply and get it. After that, you work for some time, then apply for PR and then citizenship. This is the cycle. Colleges do not give work permit. Don't listen to colleges convincing you to pay money because they think that your money is going to help them. No. Most of these colleges telling you they are going to give you work permit is a big fat lie. I have explained a lot on this channel telling you about colleges that you should look into. I even bring them here. I tell you that these programs are open, and for you to apply. Most of these colleges telling you, if you want to know if a college can give you a postgraduate work permit after you finish, go to IRCC. As simple as ABC. But stop listening to colleges telling you that they will give you postgraduate work permit. It is not true. Colleges don't give postgraduate work permit. And remember, when you are applying to any college, it should be a college that has a DLI number. I've been explaining this for quite some time now, and it looks like a lot of people still don't know. If they don't have a DLI number, do not apply to them. This is fact. Now, there is a certain group of people, or let me say there are some lies out there that groups of people or people will tell you when you want to apply to them. First of all, I just want to tell you that you can do your visa alone. You can do your admissions alone without anybody. But now, in case you think that if you want to do it alone, you may not know how to do it properly to get it. You may not know how to do it. Look for a trustworthy person and avoid giving money to people like millions. The reason is because with these visas, even if they tell you that they want to do your visa yourself, your study visa yourself, let your money be in your account. All right, then you give them the documents to do the application for you. Do not give millions to people in the name of they want to give you visa. The same visa they want to apply for, if you could apply for it, they will give you the same visa. But in this case, you don't know how to do it. Now put the money in your bank account, then look for the necessary documents. You carry the documents, you give them for them to do the application. You agree on the money you are going to pay them. If this is your first time of joining, please do not forget, press the subscribe button and make sure you subscribe, because if you do subscribe, you are equally telling YouTube that this video is important. Now, this is an update I want to give to you, and before you keep watching this video or before you continue to watch, I want to draw your attention to the fact that this country I'm going to be talking about, applications for admissions are open right now. So if you want to start studies next year around August, then this is the right time to start looking at universities in this country. And one of the most important things you should note in this particular country or with universities in this country is that they do not ask for visa interview. When you are about to apply for a visa, you always get to go for an interview. Yes, there is always an interview, but with this particular country, there is no interview you are going to do. And trust me, if you do everything right, 98% is that you are going to get your visa granted. For every student that I know that have been applying or that tried applying to this country got the visa. But you have to understand something. It is not that affordable, but again, you can scale through, because in another video, I'm going to tell you how you are going to go about this. There are scholarships available, okay? Trust me on this. I know what I'm talking about. Trust me. There are scholarships available. The reason they introduce scholarships now is because the government recently said that there is going to be an introduction of a tuition fee, and a lot of people were already giving up, and these monies were not small figures, you understand. So they have found a way around it for international students. Now, before, this country was free application, that is, you study for free, okay? The country I'm talking about is Norway, and before, Norway was free. That's if you got admissions, you could study in Norway for free. But right now, as I speak to you, Norway is not free. But because of the huge amounts of tuition fee, the government find a way, and there are maybe some scholarships you can apply to. So this video is going to be about the requirements to study in Norway. It's going to be about the tuition fee to pay in Norwegian universities, and of course the schools available and the application timeline and some things about visa. But I'm going to touch more on visa application in the next video. As like I said, we are going to start with the requirements to study in Norway. In another video, you are going to get more details about visa application and the scholarships available. Okay, pay attention to all the details, guys. If you want to study in Norway, understand that Norway is one of the Scandinavian countries, or a country in the northern hemisphere. The northern hemisphere I mean here is in northern Europe. All right, very cold country, but of course a very great country. Those of you who are petroleum engineers and who have some knowledge or background knowledge in oil production, or who are looking for mineral resources, Norway is a very good country to consider. Now, requirements to study in Norway. But before I talk about the requirements, let's take a look at some of the universities in Norway. Before, the Norwegian government had it that international students would be studying in Norway for free. That's absolutely free. So literally, Norway and Germany were the only countries that had tuition-free universities. So as I speak right now, Norway is not free anymore, but there are scholarships available. Like I said, I'm going to talk more about that. And Germany equally is going to be stopping free tuition opportunities come September 2024. I have a video I did about that as well. So please make sure you watch this video to the end and listen to everything that I'm going to say. It is very, very important. Now, let's take a look at some of the universities available for international students. Remember, these universities, most of them have bachelor's degree in Norwegian language, and very few have bachelor's programs in English language. Okay, I'm equally going to stress more about that. Then a majority of the programs are master's degree programs, and they are all taught in English language, but most of the schools will teach the BSc levels or BSc students in the Norwegian language. So you have to put all of this into consideration. Now, a list of universities in Norway include University of Southeastern Norway. This school was recently brought up, and if you want to study in Norway, I will advise you to look at this school. But requirements, you are going to listen to all the requirements anyways. But remember that as a new school, they are going to be somehow a little strict on requirements to admit international students, because when a school is newly constructed, you already know a lot of international students will storm the website to apply. Now, remember, when you are applying to Norway, the website that you are going to use is called Sonax Web, and on this website you cannot upload a document. When you click upload on that website, it goes directly to the school site. There is no submit button. That's what I mean. And during the visa application stage, which we are going to follow more in the next video, you are going to realize that for you to apply for a study visa to Norway, you are going to be using a website called UD. UD is UDI. Okay, that's the website everything is going to be done. Like I said, if you are applying to Norway and you follow the procedure, you have the finances, you are just going to Norway. There is nothing like a visa rejection. If at all you do everything right and correct. Well, there are cases where they might ask for individuals to bring extra documentations, like the case of Lithuania now, but it is not that often. Like if you omit a document, they will inform you to bring the document or upload it, but not like they will reject your visa, because of course there is a lot of money involved, and I'm going to talk about that. Not like the money belongs to the Norwegian government, it belongs to you, but you have to block it. Okay, that's the system you are going to be using. Let's look at some schools. University of Southeastern Norway is the first. Then we are going to talk about Norway University. Norway University is one of the few schools in Norway that have English programs taught at bachelor's level. That is to say, they have programs at bachelor's level that you can study in English. And an example, I think biology is in English at BSc level, and a whole lot of other programs. There is a fishery program as well. So guys, you have to check all their websites, and remember, admissions is open in some of these schools as I speak. This is October, and admissions usually start in Norway from October 1st to December 1st. Some schools go to the extent of accepting application from January, February the next year. So if you want to study maybe things related to management, business, informatics or stuff, you should be checking the University of Stavanger, and they usually extend application to like January, February, but I'm going to check again. So I'm just giving you the list now, so you go through the website. The University of Stavanger is another one. We have the University of Oslo, which is located in the capital city, of Oslo. Then you have the University of Bergen. You have the University of Tromsø. Okay, then you have the University of or let me say Stavanger. I mentioned that already. Then there is also Norwegian University of Life Sciences and Norwegian University of Technology. These are other schools, and you equally have the University of Alga. So you have to check these few. These are not all the schools in Norway. I'm just giving you a brief background of some of them you can locate. Okay, I'm going to try to put some links in the video description box. If you need a one-on-one consultation with me on anything study abroad opportunities, guys, books from the video description box. There will be links there for you. I hope you understand. Now, also remember that if you really want to migrate to Norway, first, you cannot move with a family, okay? You can only go alone, and maybe your family joins you later. Remember, you are not going to be applying for the visa. Well, you may be applying for the visa, but it is usually called a residence permit because it's going to be more than 3 months. When you go to that UDI website, you are going to find a lot of those visas to apply. Like you are going to find different visa categories, maybe visit visa, family reunion, study visa, employment visa, all the rest. But your category is the study visa, which is that of more than 3 months, because all those other visas are usually for less than 3 months. So you have to put this into consideration. It is important. Now, we have talked about some of the schools in Norway. Now, what are we going to look at? Let's look at the requirements. If you want to study a bachelor's program in Norway in English language, then you will certainly need to provide an IELTS, which is the International English Language Testing System, or a TOEFL score, test of English as a foreign language. And equally remember that in Norway, you are not going to be paying anything like an application fee. It wasn't, and presently is not. Maybe it will be implemented in future or brought in future. So this is for the language requirements. Now, also remember that there is something called country-specific requirements. Those who come from various countries, there is something they usually do. Norwegian universities usually do, like they will ask you to go to some ministries or some bodies to make sure your certificate is well recognized before you can apply. However, you also need your WAEC certificate if you are Nigerian, to apply your O-levels and A-level certificate if you are from Cameroon. If you did by the French system, you would probably have the probatoire and the baccalaureate, and the CAP and the baccalaureate. I think with this, you are going to convert them to English if they are not in English language. So these are the requirements, educational requirements for bachelor's degree seekers, students who want to study BSc programs in English schools in Norway, like in Norway University. Then remember, I said there are some requirements called country-specific requirements and program-specific requirements. Check them as well on the school websites. Then also, you may be asked to submit what is called a statement of purpose. It's rare in Norwegian universities. Some schools will equally ask you to submit what is called a CV. You will submit that. Then if you have your degrees, if you are going for masters, and of course for masters you are going to be submitting your degree and your transcript. Then remember, like I said before, there are country specific requirements. So those from Cameroon, you are going to be going over to the GCE board to confirm your results, but take into consideration IELTS. And when you are writing the IELTS, registration is done online on Google, on British Council website. Remember that when you are writing the registration, you can do it yourself, pay yourself, then study and write it. Put into consideration that you need at least 6 and above on 9 to qualify for Norwegian university. Some will ask you 6.5, some will ask you 7, and also pay attention to the scores on the various band level, like the speaking, the listening, the reading, and the writing sections. Okay, some schools will be specific on the particular points you have to submit to them. So that's the language requirements. Otherwise, you just need your transcripts and your university degrees, and also a copy of your WAEC and your high school qualification in general. Then CVs is also requested. Sometimes they will ask you to maybe write a motivation letter, but like I said, it's so rare. You will hardly find this. Okay, now when you submit all this, when you have all of this, you will now go to the website and apply to a program. But remember, it's a general website. Like I said, there is no submit button, and it's called Sonax Web. Do not forget that when you are applying to this website, it may be failing, and of course, if there is a lot of congestion on the website, it can fail. Okay, but after that, you upload your documents and you wait. It takes from October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Most of the admissions will be out, like the offer letters will be out in April. Then you prepare April, May, June, July. Then August, you start studies in Norway. Remember, visa takes 3 months. I'm going to talk about that and visa documents and everything you need to know. So these are the information. This is the information you need. And let's take a look at the fees. Like I said, Norway introduced tuition fee payment. So you are going to be paying a tuition fee. Most programs have their own particular amounts of tuition fee. Bachelor's programs have charged differently. Master's charge differently. Even some master's programs, they are not the same. Like somebody studying biology is not going to pay the same amount as somebody studying master's in business administration. So you have to check your school website to see how much is the cost per program. All right. Now let's take a look at the application timeline. I said it takes at least October, November, December, January, February, March, like 6 months if you apply in October. But if you apply from January, yours will be out. Everybody is going to get a response around March, April. Yeah, it's usually around this timeline that you are going to get a response. So please put this into consideration. And when it comes to the visa application, of course, the first document you need is the visa document, right? You need an application, an admissions letter from a university to apply for visa. So this is how it is, guys. I don't know if this video makes sense to you, but if it doesn't, let us know in the comment section. But please make sure you like the video and share to one person. Norway has introduced tuition fee payment, so put this into consideration. It is not free in Norway anymore. All right, there is no visa interview if you submit the right documents. If there is anything missing, they are going to equally ask you to submit the document, so you don't need to worry yourself. All you need to work on now is your proof of funds and everything to support your application, because without the proof of funds, remember, you have to pay tuition fee. You have to make tuition fee deposit. In some of these programs, they will ask you for a deposit, or your school will even give you what is called a blocked account for you to block the money inside. So when you block the money inside now, it is now time for you to do visa application. But remember, I said UDI is the website. Till we meet again in another one, my name is Milton from